Alright, everybody. So, this is going to be a pretty funny one, honestly. You guys are aware of Gavin McInnes, right? He hasn't been a big name for a while, so I don't really blame you if you're not. He was the founder, I guess co-founder, of the Proud Boys, which is a neo-Nazi white nationalist terror group. They go to a lot of protests, usually around Portland, all along the West Coast, and they like to try and fight Antifa and stuff, and like harass minorities and what have you. They tend to carry Nazi flags and all that good stuff. They do the little OK sign, and they're very like tapped into 4chan and stuff. They're supposed to be like the cool, hip neo-Nazis, right? Yeah, they're still very much around, but I believe their last leader, their next leader that took place of Gavin McInnes, Enrique Tarrio, got arrested and put in prison recently for the Jan 6 stuff because he was an insurrectionist, so he's in prison, I think. I don't know who's leading the Proud Boys now after this, but for quite some time now, Gavin McInnes has not been associated, which is honestly probably for the best when it comes to his career, because he... well, he's got a pretty big thing going for him on Rebel TV. He actually also helped fund he also founded or helped found, was it The Verge? Or was it like, no, it wasn't The Verge, it was, what was it? Well, he's on Rebel News. He's done, Rebel News is his thing now that he's started. It's got 1.6 million subs. But he started something that's like huge. Vice. He founded Vice. I'm not joking. The founder of Vice was also the founder of the Rebel News and, the Proud Boys. Yo, for real? Yes. It's an open secret, yeah. That's fucking crazy. Yeah. Wait, he founded Vice? Co-founded it, I guess. He's co-founded a lot of things. Obviously, he has no connection to these things now, it seems, but obviously he has his fingers in a lot of pies, you know what I mean? Co-founder. As I said, co-founder. I keep saying co-founder. There's no need to correct me when I said the correct thing. Anyway... Gavin McInnes, a long time ago, I became aware of this guy during Gamergate. When I was a chud, when I was a little chuddy boy who was worried about, like, the feminists ruining my video games. And I was probably maybe 15 or 16 at the time, I think, whenever this happened. And I remember, despite this guy being very right-wing, pretty much the entirety of Gamergate went after him and shit on him for this. This might be one of the most ratioed videos ever. Everybody hated this guy if they recognized who it was at the time. Because it kind of called back to what was his name? Something Thompson. What was the guy who hated GTA and like wanted to ban video games or whatever? The Florida lawyer who wanted to ban video games, specifically GTA. Jack Thompson, thank you. It evoked Jack Thompson for a lot of people. And so, this guy, like, was introduced to me by conservatives already as someone who I shouldn't like. I have always disliked this guy. He has always been, unlikable. Unfortunately, he appears as a guest on PKA fairly often, and then he just, like, does, like, Nazi rants, and they're just like, yeah, he's joking, he's edgy, and it's like, you fucking idiots, but, you know, it is what it is. It's how I look at how normies interpret this kind of stuff. And he's kind of known as like a shock jock, conservative, like anti-woke dude now. But let's just take a look at what he became quite known for, and not in a good way back in the day. I'm surprised he ever recovered from this.
So my buddy Nero got his second bomb threat this week. The first one was a while ago in DC, and it was at a journalism conference where he was discussing Gamergate. This week, it was another journalism conference in Miami, and they were again talking Gamergate. This was with the factual feminist C.H. Summers. And for those of you who are normal adults, you probably don't know that Gamergate is the idea that feminism and political correctness should work its way into video games. The gamers...
He gets it completely wrong there. Gamergate is the idea that wokeness and political correctness should get into video games. No, it's not. It's the push against it. He already gets it wrong. Off the bat, he demonstrates his lack of care for the topics he discusses.
That's a movement. Guys who play video games have a name for themselves. The gamers fought back and said, no, your PC doesn't belong in our world. And Summers and Nero say the same thing. This got a bomb threat both times. This time, though, they managed to get most of the talk out, but the bomb threat dispersed the crowd. Some angry social justice warrior against free speech doesn't want this being discussed, so they discussed it outside after they got bomb threated out. There's a layer of patheticness.
It came out that all these bomb threat claims were fake, by the way. Something these conservative, groups, like these conservative, what are they called, venues would do? Like the figures that run them were just YouTubers and like grifter shock jocks. They would fake that everyone had to like leave or shut down because of a bomb threat. That like they just would make up. There were no bomb threats. There weren't lefties sending bomb threats to these conservative conferences. If that was a thing back then, it would very much be a thing nowadays. What is very much a thing is the fact that a Boston Children's Hospital had to shut down for a week because of constant bomb threats after libs of TikTok claimed falsely they were doing sex changes on minors. The same goes for literally every other public institution and private that libs of TikTok and End Wokeness and these other accounts have covered.
Here, though, that no one is talking about. Namely, I don't care if video games are sexist or not sexist or politically correct.
This is why left and right, everybody hates this guy.
Video games are for little kids. Why are adults playing video games? My brother-in-law...
This sounds like my mom when I was a teenager. My mom talked my mom said this stuff word for word when I was a teenager, like, a lot. She's definitely changed her tune these days, which is very, very welcome.
Kids, why are adults playing video games? My brother-in-law got my kids a Batman game for Christmas. They can't play it. It's for adults only. Batman? When I was a little kid, we watched Batman on TV because we wanted to be tough and fight bad guys. Now you're 32 and you're sitting there, I'm Batman, I'm Superman, I can fly. Look at my Wolverine shirt. He has claws. You read comic books? That is for people who are special, okay? In the old days, you lived in the basement because you were mentally handicapped. When we saw 12-year-olds playing Star Wars with 9-year-olds, we went, poor bastard.
My mom said that, then I introduced her to Diablo. She has been a hack and slash gamer ever since. My mom also likes her some Diablo.
Oh, well, I guess he'll be living with his mommy forever. Now that's cool. Now you want to argue about it. Now guys are online with their headsets yelling at 12-year-olds saying, come back out, I want to kill you. I want to shoot you with my nerd drawing gun. And you're a nerd drawing too.
Oh, I know, because you don't want to come...
A nerd drawing. He refers to video games as nerd drawings. This is so old man yells at cloud. He refers to video games, unironically, without a hint of irony, as nerd drawings. I wish he would express this opinion on PKA and then get, like, mercilessly bullied into suicidality in Minecraft.
Come kill us. You have no guns.
It's okay. Oh, yeah, yo, Truman,
No,
no
we're
money,
pissed.
Oh, you're so pissed. It's okay.
Hey, adult males. Hey, dads. You're supposed to know stuff. You're supposed to know how things work. You're supposed to know how to fix a fridge. You're supposed to be able to get a piece. You're supposed to be...
I really love how this guy, like, he is the ultimate, like, dude who probably goes home, takes off his shoes and his pants and, like, watches, like, the Sunday night football game on the TV all day and drinks beer all day. And it's like, I'm just, I'm decompressing. I work a job. And it's like, oh, but if you work a job and then come home and, like, play video games instead of watching TV, now you're special. What he's saying is you're mentally handicapped if you play video games, I guess, as an adult.
Building a table or something. Yes, we watch TV sometimes. Yes, we...
Oh, he does at least acknowledge it. I forgot.
We indulge ourselves in movies. Sometimes we even read fiction. I don't read fiction, but I get that sometimes...
Sometimes we even read fiction. We indulge ourselves to read fiction. We cannot... This is like a level of boomer conservative where it's like no form of escapism can be allowed. Like, genuinely, people like this, like, should not exist. I genuinely think that, like, people with opinions like this are dangerous for society because they actively wish to destroy and criminalize, like, enjoyment of life. Like, you should only work, and that is it. Like, any form of self-enjoyment is actually, like, they would have you believe that going to work and like working for your boss, that's eating your vegetables and working out. But going home or like going on a vacation or for a walk in the park and like and whatnot, that's eating your junk food. That's eating junk food and pigging out in front of the TV all day. Like they will try to convince you that a healthy life is one in which you reduce the amount of enjoyment time you have as much as possible and maximize the amount of grind you focus for, which what that means is maximize the amount of money you make for your boss.
You do that. That happens occasionally, and when you're wasting time watching a show, that's a vice. It should be discouraged. It's not something to be proud of.
Exactly. You're wasting time watching a show. It's a vice. It should be discouraged. Exactly. They would destroy everything that you enjoy, everything that makes life, like, in the passing time between, like, big things you're doing enjoyable. All there would be is work or just sedentarily sitting there, like, doing nothing, I suppose.
I'll go, I'm a watch TVer. Get out of here. There's a bomb threat at my watch TV conference.
That they have the Emmys and Comic-Con, which is, yes, a comic event, but also where, like, all the shows get announced and have their trailers released. And there are people who call themselves, like, what are they called? Screen addicts? Or, like, binge addicts, I think is the term. Bingers. And then there's, like, movie heads or, like, film heads, film buffs. What are you talking about? This has always been... This guy seems like he's only, like, in his 50s or 60s, but he was pulled from the, like, 1820s.
What the fuck? Put down the console, you grown man baby. It's embarrassing.
And he got mercilessly bullied for this. And you know what's hilarious about it? You know what's, like, really fucking funny about this? He didn't learn his lesson. He didn't learn his lesson, but we're not going to get to that just yet. You see, he apparently did not learn his lesson because recently he decided to basically ostracize the last shred of his audience. And I want to be very clear here. The clips I'm showing of him here are so far from the most embarrassing things he's done on a screen, broadcast live to the internet. This man has pissed on air into a cup. This man, I think, has, like, eaten his own shit, or it was like, I think he talked about shitting into a condom and then, like, fucking himself with it. Like, this guy is, like, a really degenerate, gross-out shock jock. He's more recently kind of pivoted to, like, the guy in a suit pretending to be, like, super well-mannered and put together, but, like, this guy has done some disgusting shit. Like, borderline, like, gay porn, but it's meant to be gross out and not erotic level shit. Yeah, he put a dildo in his butt once to prove he wasn't gay. Yeah, pee-pee girl. That was one of the things he did. Yeah, he doesn't talk about that stuff anymore. But I need to be very clear here. What you're about to see is so far from the most embarrassing shit he's done on air. And he still has a substantial audience. 1.6 million subs on YouTube on Rebel Media, which is his company.
You know this Zoomer culture thing of the, I'm a cute, I just want you to know that if you're into anime, you're a pedophile. To be clear, if you watch those
To be fair, this is a more acceptable opinion than the lolicons, to be fair. Like, the lolicons are worse than people who believe this. But also, could you imagine kicking the hornet's nest of your own audience? He talks about kicking the hornet's nest of weebs, quote unquote. He's kicking the hornet's nest of his own fans.
Cartoons, if you read those comics, if your avatar is remotely associated with any kind of Japanese animation, you're a pedophile, you're a pervert, you're infantilized.
Oh yeah, and to be very clear, by the way, there's a ton of pedophilia in, like, the anime sphere, if it's not already, like, obvious or you don't already know my opinion on that. Generally, it's best, like, if you have a friend that you know is chill and is into anime, it's best to just ask them what anime they recommend, and they'll tell you. and they'll like brief you like, yeah, there's no weird shit in this, right? Like, so like Attack on Titan was recommended by a friend. And I was like, wow, this is a show that has a cast of mostly minors through most of the show, and at no point are they even like kind of creepily sexualized, like not even a little, like to the point where they're all wearing like head to toe military gear that doesn't show like any skin besides the hands and face, like through most of the show, like 99% of the time. Like it is actually quite there's definitely plenty of anime that is not like that, but I will not deny that it is rampant when it comes to anime. Obviously, we're not giving this guy any like credit. It's just, you know, I'm giving my opinion.
You're sick and depraved.
Who is Gavin getting bullied by? You'll see, Mirror Thorn.
And I noticed you talk a big game. A lot of the wingnats use anime avatars, and they're always how I'm a pussy and a cuck and shucking, and they're going to kick my ass. And you're all weak, loser, incel, virgin, pussy, pedophile sickos. Because these gestures that come from Japan are the gestures of a child. Look at her cartoony fucking sweatshirt.
I don't even disagree with him. That's the hilarious thing. Like, I disagree with him like 30%. I disagree with him. 30% of his take, I disagree with him. But the hilarious thing is that as he has this take, he is upsetting his own fans, and he like basically invoking another Gamergate era, like shitting on Gavin McInnes wave. Also, that's Disney, not anime. Wait, that panda thing is not that's from Turning Red. This isn't an anime fan. This is a Turning Red fan, which is a Disney movie that takes place in Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
She's acting like a 3-year-old, and they're talking about fucking. This comes from Japanese cartoons, and the Japanese cartoons are trying to be cute.
That dance does not come from Japanese cartoons. He's got like, I think he has like a general idea of like the subcultures of cutesiness that women will like go into that kind of splintered off from anime. So I think it's probably related to that, but it's all just one big blob to him, as it certainly is to me as well, to be fair. But it's just hilarious how out of touch Old Man Yells at Cloud he is.
So they mimic.
For me, it's the thin lines and like, yeah, it just nothing looks solid. It looks weightless. There's no weight.
It's thin, wiry frames.
Right. I just could never do it. Dragon Ball Z was the closest I got, and they have thick lines. So I guess maybe that is my big problem.
All this, I hate their fucking explosions and the lines and everything. If you want to see the brilliant cartoons, this is a subject that doesn't go well for me, but people don't understand that I can hate superhero comics and not want you to read them, but I can also appreciate graphic novels and the incredible art behind them. That's a very tough sell.
What? Okay, what is this copium?
I understand. You don't come from where I come from. In Montreal, bande dessinée, being a cartoonist was like being in a band. Like we would meet and make shit together.
Wait, what? He was calling video games nerd drawings. What is he talking about?
But this sort of head nigga in charge of...
Okay, man. Okay, Mr. White Canadian 60-year-old man.
Of comics in Montreal was Chris Oliveros. And he published Drawn and Quarterly. And he just put out this graphic novel that is the best thing I've ever read. And it's called Are You Willing to Die for the Cause? We laughed at...
Yeah, he said the N-word with the soft A. You heard it right.
...him when he started doing his own comics.
And yes, YouTube does allow this with over 1 million subscribers. Golden play button, multiple signed letters congratulating from the CEO of YouTube. Yes, YouTube fully endorses this. Yes, they have made their logo a rainbow for Pride Month.
He sucked. So he quit. He sold the publisher, and he totally focused on becoming a good cartoonist. And now he's one of the best. Do you see what I'm talking about the lines? Like, look how thick they are, and the amount of black he uses, and it's every frame is very substantial.
I don't care.
I saved this for weeks because I knew once I read it, it's gone. Right? It was like money. So I would only read it if I.
Dude, how would he feel if he saw Cuphead? Serious question. He sees Cuphead. Do you think it would break his brain? Think he'd hate it, really? I think it might break him, to be honest. Cuphead? Cuphead gameplay... Cuphead trailer. For those who don't know, Cuphead is a really neat game. It's like a difficult platformer, difficult platformer game that is meant to be in the style of like old kind of animation. You'll get the idea of what I'm talking about when you see it. It's very impressive, especially for the time that it came out. Like, it was the first game, as far as I'm aware, to do this. It's multiplayer. That goes crazy. I love that. Look at the light of the Lord shining on me. I'm getting a paladin buff right now. The paladins are healing me. Let's go. Hell yeah. All right. Here's the hilarious thing, though. Obviously, he didn't learn from his previous mistake. He repeated the mistake that fucked him over in the past, and now he is getting absolutely fucking dunked on, dude. It is absolutely hilarious. Hold on, let me bring this up. He ended up getting community noted, and the community note responded, while there is certainly some problematic elements to anime, much of it does not contain anything pedophilic. And then he responded, rate this community note as unhelpful. And then they added another community note saying, asking your followers to rate a correct community note as unhelpful is considered platform manipulation against X rules. And of course, every time it's a massive ratio. But here's the funniest bit. He did a copium response because now, like, everyone from the rabid fucking lolicon pedophiles to actual just normal anime fans and whatnot jumped down his throat. And so here is his copium response. Let's give it a watch. Prepare for the copium.
Were you preparing something?
Oh, there's just a lot of people that hate. And you know what it is? You upset a completely different community from people that watch the show.
Yeah, because I read all the letters. There was no one. We didn't get any anime complainers from the baby monsters.
I'm sure.
You know.
Wait, he calls his fans the baby monsters? What? Okay.
The rules, and so do I. Anime is for pedos. Anti-Trump journalists arrested for sex crimes. Yeah, nobody. We're not anti-Trump. Are they confused? Children's try. That's why
they're already coping. They don't understand that the lolicons are replying. Because this is a lolicon post. Like, the lolicons put together these collages of, like, there's, like, I guess 5 or 6 dudes who have in the past had, like, a long standing history on the internet of railing against lolicon and anime and calling it pedophilic, and then they would later be caught with child pornography or even just outright essaying a child, and they would then be charged and there'd be a headline. So it'd be like, here's their posts against lolicon, and then they were actually a pedophile. Seems like being against lolicon means you're more likely to hurt children. And so they put together collages like that, and this is an example of one. And so it's a trap card, I think, is from Yu-Gi-Oh! And then there's like the lolly girl, like doing a laugh because they like to use like child girls and their memes laughing, like, as if, like, the children would laugh at those that don't want them to be raped, I guess. They're very deranged. They're very delusional, to be clear. And he doesn't recognize the fact that anti-Trump journalists, the reason why they point that out is that because they're all conservatives. Like, the people he pissed off were his own fans. They're already huffing the copium off the bat.
Activist, yeah, we're not that either. You and Rich.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who bitch about pedophilia and end up being pedophiles. But you know what I've also noticed, a big pattern of people going, oh yeah, you're really worried about pedophiles? Look at these losers.
Believe it or not, this anime profile picture person says this is so corny.
Like, imagine being an adult and watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
What? Wait. Those of you guys that don't know, he voice acted on an Aqua Teen Hunger Force spin-off show. That failed. You guys know that, right? That is insane he would say that when he literally voice acted a character on a failed spin-off of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That is fucking crazy, Cope.
Wait, go back. That one there? They shouldn't need to be compared, but since you're...
That's Vera Dark, one of the fake redhead right-wing grifter conservative, like, chud channels you always see on, like, those, like, Geeks and Gamers live stream panels.
So damn... And then they show something that's not even remotely comparable.
They're willing to die for the cause.
So that's good. That's not. That's not. That's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the look of it. I don't know about the pedo thing, but I definitely don't like the look of it. And a lot of it is like
cute and funny.
That is
Random American making faces. Is this anime? No. Yes, it is. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about too.
Reset the clock, I guess, because they hear that a lot. When you people learn, okay, it's the same thing. This guy just hates the good old stars and bars.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
He's pissed off his own fans. It's such copium.
I pissed off that community. I fucking hate them.
Yeah?
I hate them all.
You hate your own
Pixar
fans?
face, Gavin. They've grown up in the same Disney. Oh, yeah. Pixar. I mean, going to the email.
But now they're finally figuring out the thing they were criticizing wasn't anime in the first place.
Mailer's point. That could be that, like the cutesy Pixar face.
Is this Sagacha, me losing my temper with Destiny and predicting his destiny?
Actually dealing with these people who have never contributed anything outside of playing some fucking video games.
Okay.
A guy plays video games.
You're out of line.
Twitch,
You're way out of line. You're way out of line. You're way out of line.
Actually dealing with these.
I like that guy. Who is that guy?
That's a Rorschach test. People see that and they're like, bad guy. And I'm like...
It's like I said to Ye. The guy yelling is always correct.
Why are we catching strays? What do we do to deserve this?
He actually believes that, by the way. This guy's unwell mentally.
But exist and enjoy our hobby. Aw.
He just, like, goes on screaming rants threatening to kill people regularly.
Oh, I love when they call it a hobby.
Now I feel bad.
My hobby is sitting on my ass and looking at something.
I've got a lot of good follows and followers that have the anime thing. I just don't get it.
No, it's worse than don't get it. It's fucking infantilized perverts who don't know how to fuck a chick.
I don't think we're Con Inc.
Okay, that's enough. I'm sick of these perverts.
Oh my god! Hey, Gavin, have some.
Oh, he's bothered by it. He's actually upset because he knows it's his own fans turning against him too. Read the community note, Gavin crying to Elon. Hello, Mr. at Elon Musk, please help us. Fake anime profiles are attacking us. We need your assistance. Elon Musk also loves anime. Here are some of his recommendations from an interview. Link. Engagement farming is not allowed as per X rules. This community note is to prevent verified accounts such as these from getting ad revenue from them. They community noted all of his tweets about this, so he hasn't made a dime off of any of these posts on Twitter that are going viral, and he's getting a ton of hate, and he's not making a single penny off of the hate. Like, he's not getting a bunch of hate engagement money at all. His posts are demonetized because of the community notes.
Wait, this one, Kimiko, she's over 18, and she could help lower your blood. By the way, she's over 18. This character. Lower your blood. Does your blood pressure lower when you see?
Ooh, yummy. Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, man. Wait, you just spent, like, literally the last 3 minutes and 15 seconds calling these people perverts.
Glug, 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 glug. Is that jizz?
Funny.
You're gross losers.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they are, but just them? Really? Just them? How can Gavin get mad at gamers for contributing nothing when Gavin is a net negative to society? Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people who are net negatives to society like to criticize others because it makes them feel better. But hey, it is what it is. You want to see something else that's really funny? I might have to search Google for this. I don't know if it's on YouTube. He might have copyrighted it down. Gavin McInnes pissing in a cup. Oh, yeah. Good. It's on Oh, Dylan Burns posted this. He did this during the debate with Destiny where he was raging. I didn't even realize it. This was the fucking cup pissing moment was in the same debate that we saw that clip from a second ago. Let's go.
COVID-19 is not the same thing as saying the cause of death was COVID-19. There is not, again, if you look at the excess deaths, if you look at the excess deaths in the United States, it's not like, oh my God, we have 200,000 COVID deaths, but only 20 lung cancer deaths this year. Wow, we must have gotten really good at dealing with smokers in society. And maybe those vape pens aren't as bad as all the other old people say they are. That's not what's happening. We're still seeing deaths all across COVID-19.
Just watch his hands.
It's not the same thing as saying the cause of death was COVID-19. There is not, again, if you look at the excess deaths, if you look at the excess deaths in the United States, it's not like, oh my God, we have 200,000 COVID deaths, but only 20 lung cancer deaths this year. Wow, we must have gotten really good at dealing with smokers in society. And maybe those vape pens aren't as bad.
What did he put off to the side there? God. What other, hold on, Gavin McInnes. Dildo might be a good thing to search. He copyrighted that, okay. Oh yeah, here it is. Here it is. When he stuck a dildo up his ass to prove he wasn't gay. Yep. But guys, he contributes so much to society. So much. Look at him. Fellas, you're basically a little gay boy if you haven't stuck a 9-inch dildo up your asshole as deep as the balls will let you go, just to see if you're gay or not. If you haven't done that at least once, you're basically already gay. You might as well go kiss a man and get married. No, this is the most heterosexual thing one can do, obviously. Clearly. Obviously. Anyway. If you enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like and commenting down below. Both actions severely, that sounds like probably not the best word to use, significantly boost my content in the algorithm and help the channel a lot. I really, really appreciate it if you do that. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and ringing the bell icon to turn on all notifications on YouTube so YouTube tells you when I go live or upload. And also follow my social medias linked down below and join my fan Discord, the main hub of my fan base, where I do watch parties, call-ins, streams, and game events. And of course, if you want to support me financially directly, consider maybe supporting me financially by donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buying some merch to the Streamlabs link down below. But regardless of how you support me, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I really hope you enjoyed. Have a good one.